No one to talk with, all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's just you I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Come on, Bob. Jiminy. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for, believe me. I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Well, that was a mediocre plus version of a 1929 tune called Ain't Misbehavin', written by Fats Waller. Nobody else is doing Fats Waller. We're doing Fats Waller. Happy Monday. If you're seeing this on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I hope that day is happy too. We've got a G, E minor, A minor, D7, island D7, split D7 on the 2nd fret, 2nd and 4th string, 2nd fret, A, G7, C, you're going to like C minor, check it out, barred 3 strings, or you could play it like a D, barred 3 strings on the lower 3 strings of the 3rd fret, the 1, 2, 3, B7, which can be played as an E minor shape, right above your regular E minor on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, starting on the 2nd fret. It can also be played, of course, as a barred, but we like this angled to B7, E7, A7, D, and to add to our 7s, G6. Okay, how does that make sense? Well, it's the same chord as E minor 7. It's the 2nd fret, 1st and 3rd strings. In some keys it's G6, probably the key of G, for example. And in some keys it's E minor 7. Maybe that's the key of C. Who knows? Some people are smarter than me about this chord theory stuff. Music theory. We start with a G. You did print out your chord sheet? Yes, and you're looking at all this? Yeah. Okay, good. So we start with a G. Well, we do an intro. We do a strum pattern. Down, up, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, or for you non-chunkers, and the intro is G, E minor, A minor, D7. For you folks who like to move it right along, chords change until you get to the interlude, the little Jack Horner interlude. Chords change every strum pattern, so you got to keep moving. Boom, da, boom, da, boom, da, boom, da. So when you're watching your chord sheet, you got to look forward a chord or two to anticipate if there's a more difficult chord coming up. So I'm looking at G, but I'm seeing A, D7, G, G7 in my peripheral. So it's G, no one to talk with, all by myself. There's that D7, no one to walk with. Here comes C minor. That's the one to anticipate. You won't be ready for that if you're not watching. Happy on the show. Happy on the show. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love. Or if I'm anticipating, I see B7 is coming and I'm thinking, angle chord, hit it. That's the roughest stretch there. So it is 5 7s in a row. And 5 7s, of course, is a Yahtzee. Except dice in Yahtzee don't go to 7. So it's a straight. It's a big old straight. Except you would only normally, it's 5 7s. It's not a straight. It's 5 7s, which would be a pretty good poker hand. Back to the ukulele. So that's it. So 5 7s in a row. D7, B7, E7, A7, D7. And if you're on your game, it will sound something like this if I'm on my game. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving. Here they come, my love, for you. So that's the tricky part there, if none of the rest of it is tricky. The interlude is like a Jack Horner. You actually get to play the chords for 2 strum patterns or 2 bars. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting, eek, worth waiting for, believe me. Don't stay out late, and then you repeat the same pattern as the first and second verses. There's an interlude that's all basically the same as the chords in the first verse, which will be fun. And then you repeat the like Jack Horner in the corner. And then the very last is a repeat of I don't stay out late. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. And then the last line repeats that. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. And a down strum on that G6. It's the only place in the whole song where that G6 happens. So that last line is, second last line, let's do the last 2 lines. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. Carry that U all the way through the 3 chords, and you'll be styling just like Fats Waller. That's Ain't Misbehaving. Call, write, phone, send me questions. Ciao. Aloha.